Cars full of motion, painted green, mouths full of chocolate, covered cream, arms that can only lift a spoon. Everyone's gone to the moon. Everyone's gone to the moon. Everyone's gone to the moon.
Thank you, David Trolley. That was beautiful. Thank you. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. And thank you, Patricia, for being our platform person today. Thank you. I appreciate it. And to Cam for the announcements, and Julie for being the chaplain, for Harry for doing the slides, and for Bob for recording, and Kevin for being our Zoom operator. Thank you very much. And of course, for the wonderful David Trolley and all the music he brings to our ministry. Thank you, David. Thank you. Everyone's gone to the moon. Yeah, it feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? It feels like that. You know, every Wednesday we have a worship service prep meeting, and Harry Ollendorf and David Morris and I and David Trolley and Joy and John Duffy get together, and we make sure we have the service put together and the slides put together, and we finalize the music, or we talk about the music, or we plan the music. And so we were talking about this Sunday, you know, and what do you do for surviving virtual ministry? You know, my first thought was Telstar, but what can I say? That was instrumental, and David Trolley gave me a funny look when I said it. Just as funny as when David Morse suggested, remember that old song, oh, everyone's gone to the moon. And I went, yes, that's what surviving virtual ministry feels like everyone's gone to the moon. Have you felt that way? You know, church full of singing, nobody's there. I mean, chocolate covered cream and eyes full of sorrow, but never wet. I mean, sometimes, you know, we're feeling sorrowful, but we're used to it. And the eyes, we don't cry as much as we used to, I don't think. I had a good cry the other day. Gosh, it was the first time in a year. It felt so good, you know? And so I just felt like the song, the melody of it, it's a haunting melody in a way. And it was written by Jonathan King in 1965. And it was suggested that the moon in question was a public house in Cambridge. If that was true, one could understand the title, Everyone's Gone to the Pub, but it doesn't have quite the same ring to it as Everyone's Gone to the Moon, right? Now, maybe after a couple hours in the pub, you wouldn't care if it was the pub or the moon, but you know, Jonathan King was a Cambridge undergraduate when he wrote it, but the fact about it being a pub has no basic in fact. As a matter of fact, King was kind of a satirist in his own way. And at the time, there was the Dylan School of Meaningful Lyrics. You remember Dylan and his meaningful lyrics. And it said that Jonathan King wrote this to be satirically to go the opposite of meaningful lyrics. And he's done that. And sometimes in the middle of doing virtual ministry, we feel like we don't have meaningful lyrics, that we feel like we don't know what the next step is. We feel like we're walking down the street and we might as well just have caramel covered cream and chocolate as we would know what program to go to or what link to use. Or has he changed that link again? And How do I get onto noon meditation? And why am I getting ready for noon meditation and seeing people popping into my personal meeting room? I'm getting an email saying it. And so I'm there, hey, you're in the wrong room, and it's all about virtual ministry. And it's been so much fun. It was thrown upon us so rapidly. And it's really, for me, it's been fun to move through it and see us move through it. And you know what? I want to tell you something before we get off, before I go off on any kind of a tangent or say much more. How do we survive virtual ministry? Folks, you're doing it. You're in the middle of surviving it. You've done it. Really, I know I like to give you compliments, and I've done that recently, but I want you to realize that you are surviving virtual ministry and you're doing it very well. You're doing it beautifully. Your congregation, our congregation, is just about 100% intact from where it was 2 years ago, and then some. It's grown. Wow. Isn't that neat? We have music every Sunday. And starting next Sunday, we're having guest musicians again. David Trolley's going to be with us to make sure everything goes right in the service. And we're having guest musicians from, is it Boulder, Colorado, David? I think so. Who are we having next week? I'm sorry.
Dinah and Sierra.
Dinah and Sierra are coming next week, and it's going to be fun, and David will be here. So, I mean, we've got guest musicians coming again. I have to tell you, I was spending, oh, by the way, you can see the back of my head today if you look through the different Zoom screens. I like to set up an altar sort of, and I put another laptop up behind here, and there we all are. You see, I can have 2 Zoom rooms going at once in virtual ministry, and I can be 3-dimensional. You can see the back and the front of me. And guess what? I can be here where I always am, and I can be in Hawaii like I am in the other laptop. It's a marvelous electronic world. It is. And so we better breathe into it and enjoy it. We better breathe into this electronic world and enjoy it. I was doing some research, and I did some research last year to look at how to survive electronic ministry as a minister, as a ministry, not as a congregant, but as a ministry. And I think I said at that time, I can't remember quite what service it was, but I said that we were doing a good job and we're doing all the things that are out there. Well, I was looking for some survival techniques for the congregation. How can you survive this transition to electronic ministry? And once again, when I did my Google searches, I came up with all kind of tips for the pastor and for the ministry. Not very many for congregants, unfortunately. But you know what? Once again, I saw that we're doing exactly what they say, that there are now mega internet churches that over the last 2 years have taken and brought mega church to the internet and have multiple ministries going on, have youth and family ministry going on with their congregation. It's big business now. But some of the key things that they're saying to make to be able for a ministry to survive electronic ministry is the same thing that you need to do to survive it as a congregant. It's that you need a live host. Well, we do that. We don't just do live streaming. We have a live host. Our host today was Patricia Wright. I'm the host some Sundays. We change. We have a good time. We have a live host and we have conversation, and you still get to connect. And so connect. We don't have, we have what? About almost 40 people on this morning between the households that have more than one person. Connect. Some of you like to stay for breakout rooms, some of you don't, some of you come on early, some of you stay late. Connect when you want to. It's there. It's a way to stay connected. Use it. Use the breakout rooms. Go into a breakout room. You know, you can leave the breakout room whenever you want to. You just go down to leave and click on leave breakout room, and you can come back into the main room, and Kevin or Marilyn or I or whoever's in there, we'll send you off to another room if you want to switch rooms. You know, just come in and ask it, and it's okay. You know, that's what we would do if we were meeting in the hospitality room at the senior center. We'd walk from group to group. So it's okay to do that here. It's good to keep in contact. The next thing was to connect outside of service. Well, we started doing that. I mean, who read that? But we started doing that. We're having small groups. We're having tea and talk and walk and talks. Zen golf. The Book of Joy. Donna Tweltridge is doing a wonderful job coordinating small groups. And so I want to ask you, if you want to survive in this electronic ministry, because we're electronic ministry, we're going forward and we're doing well, connect. If you're local, connect locally. If you have an idea for a small group, maybe we have a bunch of knitters and we just don't know it. If you're a knitter and you want to start a knitting group, and I'm just using that as an example, put it together. Give Donna a call. Those golfers, they're Zen golfing and getting roped into being on the prosperity team at the same time. It's funny what you can do when you get out there and you connect. So, you know, connect outside of service. If you're virtual, take classes. My goodness, I've been having fun. I'm taking a Martha Creek class, and there's about 70 people in it from all over the place. And Martha is pontificating like there's no tomorrow. And it is just plain fun and seeing all these people. And I'm kind of getting used to it. I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready for service, it's just become routine that I close this blind and put this up, or that I get flowers and put them together and set up an altar. And it also means I have to clean on Friday or Saturday, which is a good thing, being an elderly bachelor. You know, it's not one of that comes every other week. And then the next thing it says is to give reports on celebrations. And we do that. My goodness, we celebrate together a lot. We celebrate Harry Ollendorf. Oh, Harry, what a delightful article that was in the news, in the e-news. And if you haven't seen it, take a look at the e-news this week. It's just a special article. And I understand that. Thank you, David Fleming, for writing that and taking the picture. And I think it was Joy and Kim and there was one other person, I can't remember who was at the walk and talk yesterday, that saw the plaque that's in the e-news. And so we celebrate together. We celebrate our pledges. We celebrate the fact that online, virtually, we fed a family of 5 at Christmas. And not only that, gave them the Christmas gifts that they wanted and much more than that. Thank you. Well, geez. And I mean, you're doing electronic virtual ministry. Just take a minute, pat yourself on the back. It's amazing. We have a congregation that most of us are over 37 and 47. All right, most of us are over 57. And we've made this adjustment. And we deserve a pat on the back because we're doing good at it. The next one that says is to have online events and add online to your add an online pathway, a pathway to membership for online congregants. And we've done that. We had 4 virtual new members join. I mean, we're doing it. And so I want you to relax a little bit and be gentle on yourself. That's my best advice for surviving these times, is to stop, take a breath, and be gentle with yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Don't beat yourself up if you're having trouble finding the link, or if you can't get the volume to go down or up. Or Sue Frederick and I spent about 8 hours one day trying to get an event published on Eventbrite. You would think that the two of us could have gotten that event up easier. And we just had to be gentle on ourselves. And there were times when we weren't, until we stopped and had a prayer and settled down again. Be gentle on yourself. You're doing great. And, so I want to encourage you at this time then, since we're doing everything right, and you're doing everything right, is to be comfortable to share the link for virtual services with someone that you know that might enjoy coming and having an hour's worth of worship on Sunday morning, and to meet new people, and to be involved in our online classes or in our personal get-togethers locally. Be gentle with yourself. Invite other people. And I want to ask you to remember one other thing. As you're remembering to be gentle with yourself, I want to ask you to remember our vision and our mission. Our vision is a world transformed by divine love. And so we can do that whether we're next to each other or miles and miles apart, whether we're in person or whether we're virtual. We are that divine love, each one of us, and we can be that, and we can share it with the world, and we can do it virtually. We can radiate that divine love through prayer, and we have a wonderful example of that today. We've prayed beautifully, and we radiated divine love through prayer. Through spiritual enrichment, I'm hoping that through the music and message and meditation, you're getting some spiritual enrichment today. I sure am. By being here, just being here with you and listening to the music and the prayers. Well, joyful connection. If you've been on before the service, you would have seen joyful connection. If you're seeing it now and you're going to see it afterwards, my goodness, what a joyfully connected community. And we share that so well with other people. You share yourself. You share that joyful connection with guests when they come. And that's so important. That's what it takes to be a virtual ministry. And you see, when you share that joyful connection, when you share your divine love with new people, why, they feel it and they want to share it back and they want to be a part of it. And they need it in their lives right now because they're going through the same thing that we are. And then sacred service. Boy, this ministry has stepped up to sacred service. Let me tell you, we're busy. We're busy. That engagement team is cooking. The prosperity team is starting to cook. The golfers, I don't need the golfers. We're cooking. We got things going on. We're planning. The prayer altars or morning altars are coming up as we hopefully will get together at Slide Park. But as we all are, we're taking it moment by moment because we don't know what to do next. I see Barbara Thorpe is here with us again, and I bet that's because Unity of Linwood is not meeting in person anymore. They're meeting, yeah, she's shaking her head. And so things change all the time. I know that the minister there, oh my gosh, he's gone through taking reservations for limited, to limit the number of people in the church at one time. And then they were opening up and then they were, backing off, and lots going on. And so it's still happening, I wanted to share with you also that one of the things that the chaplains and I are talking about is home and hospital visits. And that just doesn't mean in person. that can be virtually as well. So electronic ministry affords us the ability to take our prayer chaplain program and take it into homes and hospitals. And that's something new. And we're talking about that. And we're talking about how we can do that. It's a move forward in the chaplain program. It's adjusting to electronic ministry. So I want to call your attention for a few moments. And I was hoping that our virtual assistant was going to be on here, and I don't think she is. And so we'll have her on another time. But, I wanted to talk about just a couple of our virtual tools. And I'm so glad that I have all of you here this morning, because there's one more suggestion for you to surviving virtual ministry. And it's really simple. Get used to using our website. Go to the website. Really, if you don't hear anything else I've said today, go to unityofdavis.org and use the website. Everything that you could need is on there. There's a contact form to contact anybody in the ministry. All you have to do is clack. I thought, where's that hen from the tail of a pig? Clack, clack, clack. All you have to do is click contact form, and you can send a contact form off, and our virtual assistant, Samantha, she forwards it off to the right person. So you can either email me at richardcarlini@gmail.com, or you can send me an email via the contact form. And I'll tell you what, there's a main link right on the website that says events calendar. That has a link to meditation, to Sunday service, to the chaplain meeting. It has a link to any class on it. All you have to do is go to the calendar and click the link, and it'll take you there. If you look under prayer and you go to prayer request, and there's a couple ways you can get to prayer request. As Julie told you, I want to tell you, I know that if you're on a cell phone, that makes it harder to survive virtual ministry, because it's hard to navigate it. I tried. It's hard. So if you have a hard time navigating or seeing other people on a cell phone, don't feel bad, because it's difficult. Everything's small, and the menus aren't spelled out like they are on an iPad. So think about using another device if you're using a telephone, but you can go right to the chat right now and click on the link for prayer request or donation, and everybody has a chat button. The website link is in there too. To survive virtual ministry, you need to use the website. You just do. And you need to get the e-news. The e-news has all the current events in it. And if you're not in e-news, if you're not getting the e-news, and I know some of you have a problem with the e-news, and we've tried a bunch of things, go to the contact page on the website and put in that you're having trouble with it. Samantha will help you. She'll get back to you. She's better at it than me. She's better. Mrs. Duffy and I call her for all kinds of things. She and Cam have worked together along with Lisa and David to put together a beautiful website. Now I want to call on you to use it. All the previous talks are on there. They're also on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, you can just put in Unity Center Davis, and all the talks will be there. David Fleming has curated all of our radio or our audio talks from prior to video recording them, and they're all on there. And I got to tell you, I am so happy that our e-news is now featuring a monthly member highlight, and Harry's our first monthly member that we're featuring, and it's lovely. It's just beautiful. And one of the best things on the website is our UCOD creative community. And I don't know if you've been to that page, but Dixie Tyler's artwork on there is absolutely phenomenal. And Steve Chicado's artwork is on there, and it's phenomenal. You can just, it's been curated well. You can spend time just looking at artwork created by your community. That's on the website under creative community. Also, the board members are on there and the teams are on there. And speaking of the board, I wanted to mention that we have an opening for a board member coming up. We've got a slate of candidates for the board. We've been very busy. We're electing a whole new board this time. And we have candidates. We have Marcia Denault is up for rerunning, and John Duffy is going to rerun. Marcia Chicata is rerunning, and Sue Barton is running. And we would like to have at least one more candidate up if you're interested. The board is just turned into a fun place. I think there was a feeling at one point that if you were on the board, you had to do everything. If there was nobody else to do it, you had to do it. And that's just not the way that the board is anymore. We have teams that are having a good time and having fun. And the board is overseeing the ministry and the finances of the ministry. And your finances are doing extremely well. Congratulations. Congratulations. I know I'm going on and on, but again, go to the e-news. And if you're not getting it, go to the website, fill out a contact form, let Samantha know, because coming soon is the annual meeting. And those of you that are members, remember last year, you went onto the website or the e-news and you updated your membership renewal. And you'll get to do that again and sign the membership covenant. And so going virtual, going electronic is the answer. A lot said. I want to tell you just one more thing that's happening that's kind of exciting about electronic ministry. There's all kind of talk about Facebook out there. So I don't know how you're all feeling about Facebook. Facebook can take over your life. Don't let it. Facebook can, you can get in a fight on Facebook. It is the strangest thing. You can, my goodness, all you have to do is unfriend somebody if you want to. I mean, it's an odd thing, but if you approach it with love and you stay in love and, we treat each other with love, we can have fun with social media. So much is happening on social media. And so the board in their budget this year has money put aside to bring on a social media consultant. And so we've hired Sandy Eastwood, who was referred by Unity Worldwide Ministries. And she's going to be amping up our Facebook page. And really, if you're not looking at our group and our page, I want to suggest you do that. There's all kinds of things going on there, and you can post, and there'll be, I can't keep it up. I can't respond to everybody. I'm just, well, it's all I can do to keep up my own Facebook page. Get to another one and type it in. So Sandy will be doing that. And so there's going to be communication back and forth. And you see, you might not realize this, but we have lots of people that have liked and signed on to our Facebook page that are not within our regular community. So we'll get conversation going with them, and hopefully they'll join one of our services. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you for being willing to go to the moon. Seems like everyone's gone to the moon. And so we might as well go too. Oh, what a great congregation you are. What an inspiring group of people. What a delight to share in the human experience with you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week. Have a great week.